So, man, we're back on the Undisputed GOAT podcast live. A lot of basketball news this weekend coming fresh off of WNBA All-Star Weekend and arguably one of the best off seasons, arguably in NBA history, man. I know we are just a month from that pigskin and we know football is king in the United States of America, but basketball has been killing it. But I got to ask you this question, man, before we get started. We are awaiting the arrival of Flash, by the way. Flash, um, just waiting on him to tap in. Hey, hopefully he gets here soon. But gotta ask this question, brother.
hmm
Number one, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good. Yeah, I got the next couple of days off, including today. Really haven't done too much today. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm gonna relax some more before another week, and then I have all next week off. So I'm definitely looking forward to that, getting some time off. What I'm saying? A lot been going on. A lot of exciting stuff going on, particularly in the world of sports. I'm always ready to get up in here and chat it up, cut it up, and have some fun. So hey, I can't complain, man. Life going pretty good.
Hell yeah, man. Gotta ask you this question, man. Is this the biggest offseason in NBA history, man? We've had so many transactions. You had the Giannis watch. You had the Giannis watch. You had the Jalen Brown trade. You had LeBron going to the Philadelphia 76ers. You had Luka being re-signed. You had the Lakers making a hell of a lot of big trades. Is this the biggest offseason in NBA history right about now that we're coming off of at this point in time?
Um, I think it's up there as one of the biggest ever in terms of sheer the number of impact moves that have been made in one offseason. I don't recall an offseason with this many impact moves being made, like marquee names being moved. I still feel the biggest offseason in NBA history was, the decision, LeBron leaving, going to Miami. Because I just felt
Yeah.
like, because I still felt like his peak, like he was hitting his peak at the time, and it really kind of caused the shift in the East and just moved all the power at the time towards the Miami Heat. Because that's like LeBron's first real experience with free agency. So really it kind of like shifted the waters as far as the NBA was concerned. Because Cleveland was like even though they only made one finals at the time, they were like the team, between them and Boston, and then Braun, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh all joining the Heat really kind of created like a power shift. And then the Heat come in, take out the Celtics, and then next thing you know, they're going to four straight finals and winning two. Um, I think, yeah, but like I said, from sheer number of impact moves, it's definitely like up there. It's one of the biggest we've ever seen. I mean, from like you said, you brought up LeBron to Philly, LeBron and Jalen Brown to Philly, Kawhi going to Toronto. Good lord, some trying to think of all the moves that's been going on. And then what I'm saying, that's just a handful. Like Giannis going to Miami. That's just like some of the moves that have been made. And I definitely think it's up there as one of the biggest ever. It might be the biggest in terms of just number of sheer, extremely impactful moves that happened in one offseason. I ain't seen one like this in a long time.
Yeah, I ain't seen one in a long time either, but it allowed us to reintroduce himself. His name is Flash.
Hey, yes.
What's going on, Flash?
Hi guys, sorry about that.
Oh, don't worry about it. Here.
Been dealing with a
And you
sick
can't
dog.
be late when you one of the bosses. I mean, all of us are the bosses of the show, so you can't be late when you the damn boss. Now, the cameraman, on the other hand, we fired his ass.
No, yeah.
Just being real.
How,
But
how dare he catch me on my bad side? That's just terrible. He knows better.
yeah.
All right.
But how you doing, Flash? Number one, as we get filtered in.
It's been a rough week, but I'm all right. I'm alive. I'm okay. All right.
All right.
A little bit of a rough week. Work was pretty brutal, and two sick pets, and just it's just been a week. I'll just put it that way. So, but I'm all right. I'm alive. I'm breathing. I have a job. I can pay my bills. As my grandmother always said, there's always somebody that's got it way worse than you do. So, count your blessings.
Yes, indeed. We're living somebody's dream every single day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we're living somebody's dream every day. Just remember that, people who's watching in TV land. Hey, I gotta ask you this. I just asked BRF this question, man.
Yes, sir.
Is this the biggest NBA offseason that we've ever seen? Considering the transaction, LeBron to Philadelphia, Jaylen Brown to Philadelphia, you had the Giannis trade, you had just a whole bunch of transactions that was going on in the NBA. And those are just the big transactions. We're not even speaking on the micro transactions that the Los Angeles Lakers was able to make.
I think on a star level, to a certain extent, yes. But I think the in terms of like moving the needle, no. I think the LeBron move to Miami as a whole was a bigger needle mover. I think Durant obviously going to Golden State was what it moved the needle way more.
I pretty much said the exact same thing before you came in. I feel like LeBron to Miami was like the biggest because I brought up the fact that Cleveland was one of those needle mover teams with Braun, but they were still having to overtake Boston. And then not only do you get Braun, you get Wade and you get Bosh coming in, signing pretty much at all the same time. So it just pretty much created like a whole power shift. Next thing you know, Miami's going to the finals 4 straight years.
So I think that's like to me, Giannis going to Miami, especially without LeBron going there now, is kind of like I mean he's I don't know if they're real or not. There's been some quotes from Giannis right now that I don't know if he feels like he made the right decision at all. And I, as a whole, I actually think he went to a worse team in Miami than, they had better coaching.
You went from Milwaukee North to Milwaukee South with better weather. And no
Colts was a better coach, but I just feel that didn't do anything. LeBron going to Philadelphia, while kind of a surprise.
I was shocked. Philly was the team I least expected him to go to.
I thought it was going to be. The 3 were Golden State, Miami, Cleveland. Like those are the main 3 that I think everybody as a consensus thought it was going to be one of those 3. But I don't know. I'm not like shocked. I also am like, it's kind of an eye roll with me. And that's great. He wants to go win another ring. I think if he wins another ring in Philly, it doesn't do anything to his legacy. It doesn't advance it that far. He's ring chased so much that another ring adding to it, I don't think it really I don't think it's going to add to the GOAT debate at all. Let's say he wins one more in Philly. I just think that the GOAT it won't factor in. I don't know. I don't think, again, I think moving the needle wise, I don't think like it's a huge, I think, I don't know. Embiid's got major injury history. LeBron is 41, I think. As much as I love Jaylen Brown, it's there. I'm curious to see how this team functions and works. But, I still think when you talk championship, I think it's still way up in the air. I think with the Spurs and Wemby taking less money, the Spurs being able to get a year older, I think San Antonio is probably the favorite with maybe New York, even though New York's the defending champions, but on paper, San Antonio is probably the favorite. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's the biggest. I think it's
one of the most active, I would say. I would say one of the most active because it's never been a time where I've seen this many damn superstars. You might see one superstar move along. You might see maybe a superstar and a great role player move on, but it's rare to see 3 major superstars in the world of sports move on into one. And look, people are talking about this team, and I believe that each of these big-time star players, as far as LeBron, as far as Jaylen Brown, as far as Joel Embiid, they can add to their legacy in their own little way. Jaylen Brown can prove that he can win without Boston and Jason Tatum. That's one thing that he's going to be able to prove. Joel Embiid, you can finally help your team win one. That destroys any narrative that you have up until this point. LeBron, you can. I don't know if it will. But you can make your argument more into the GOAT conversation with a 5th championship. Now, people are going to say it can't, but when you get 5 and it's a possibility of 6, especially with this team is pretty young. You know, this team is pretty young. So I really think that he has a chance in order to do some things with this team. This is a very, very young team. Nick Nurse has a championship pedigree. Jaylen Brown, he's won a championship before, so he has a chance. This is not one of those situations where he's going into where nobody has a championship pedigree. He is going in with guys with championship pedigrees are concerned. But this team definitely has their own – each guy on this team definitely has something attached to a legacy when it comes to winning a championship this year. Like I said, Joel Embiid, if he's able to win one, that clears out everything. If LeBron wins a 5th one, guess what? That puts him in closer and closer to the GOAT conversation. Jaylen Brown wins. Jason, you can win without Jason Tatum, and you can bring one to your biggest rival, that being the Philadelphia 76ers. People don't realize how much the 76ers are of a flagship franchise in the NBA. They are a flagship franchise in the NBA. So they're right up there with Boston. They're right up there with New York. They're right up there with the Lakers. They're a flagship franchise. So for them to win another one for the first time since Dr. J and Moses Malone, that would be nothing short of amazing. Like I said, they're trying to party like it's 1983. They haven't won one in 43 years. So if you looked at the way the New York was celebrating, they called it Babylon. Hell, if you looked at how they were celebrating when they won the Super Bowl, you could just imagine how it's going to be when the damn Sixers win the championship. So I believe that this team has a lot to prove, and each one of these individual players has their own legacy and their own stamp and their own meaning behind a championship if they're able to win one.
I just, to me, LeBron adding a 5th ring with this team and another super team, I think part of the legacy aspect is how you chase like how your career.
Is this really a super team?
I would
it is. Yes, it is a super team.
You would call this a super team?
Yes, I would call this a super team. You have 2 finals MVPs on this team. You have a head coach who's won a championship before, who derailed the dynasty. You have
we kind of straddling the fence on this being a super team.
No, Tyrese Maxey is an all-star. Hedgecombe is an all-star.
Miami was
got 5 all-stars on this team.
Miami was a super team. Philly, and you also got to think too. Philly's won one playoff series in how many years? So I don't even like calling it ring chasing because they ain't won nothing in the playoffs. I mean, I understand they bringing them in, but I wouldn't even call it ring chasing. I mean, they ain't done nothing. But so I mean,
if you really look at it, it is a super team. When you think about it, when you think about Tyrese Maxey, is he not an all-star?
Yeah, but I look
he's
at
an all-star.
Team. Yeah, but I look at
DJ
super team.
He's first team all rookie.
I look at super team like, do you have it? I look at it like, do you have at least 2 superstars?
Yeah, you do have 2 superstars.
Jaylen Brown's not a superstar. Jaylen Brown's an all-star. He's not a superstar.
Tyrese Maxey's an all-star. He's not a superstar.
Jaylen Brown's not a superstar.
Finals MVP is not a superstar.
He's not a bro.
Is he a top 10 player in the league?
Heck no. Jaylen Brown. No.
Oh my God.
Jaylen Brown's not a superstar.
Damn right up in this damn place.
No.
There's no way you can say that he's not a top 10 player.
Yo, what is a superstar?
A superstar is one who's able to carry their team. He was able to carry them to a 61 win without his co-star. That is the definition of a superstar. And he was in the MVP conversation.
He is a high level. He is a high level all-star. I'm not ready to call Jaylen Brown a superstar. I'm not ready.
Now, if you want to talk about megastar, if he's on that Jordan, Kobe, LeBron type of thing, no. I'm talking about his notoriety. As far as being a top 10 player, yes, he is.
Hold on. Was Bosh, Wade, and LeBron a super team?
Yes.
Okay.
They were all in top 5, 6, 7 conversation as far as players in the league at the time. Yes. They were all in top 8 player conversation in the league.
He's a top 10 player, correct? He's always in the Embiid.
He's not now. He was at one point.
When
he's been injured.
If he's healthy, is he an MVP candidate year in and year out?
If he's healthy.
I'm just saying.
But I mean, there's caveats that we have to look at with the team. I know I gave them a lot of props on the show Friday, but we still have to look at these caveats. And I said it, if Embiid's healthy and he's giving you decent numbers, because I like the 76ers in terms of like the spacing that they're going to bring. They got a lot of shooters on this team. People ain't really stopped to look at this roster. They got shooters. Max is a shooter. Brown's a shooter. VJ Edcomb's a shooter. They signed Dean Wade from Cleveland. He's probably going to start before. He's a shooter.
Then Caldwell Pope. Yeah. They just signed him. So
they just got KCP. He's a shooter. So I mean, they're going to have loads of spacing. And you bring in someone like Braun, he adds that because of his basketball IQ and being able to set up teammates around him. But we also got to kind of reel it in as far as like what's a superstar in the NBA. There aren't that many superstars in the NBA. We got to reel that in a little bit. There aren't that many superstars.
You have at least two now.
I'm not.
Embiid's not a superstar?
Jaylen Brown is not to me. He's an all-star, but he's not a superstar. He's not a superstar.
Is Embiid a superstar?
At this point, no. He's got to prove it again.
Man,
because yeah, we're giving it to him. We're giving it to him just off the past glory and what he's done in his peak. But he's been hurt and he ain't played like a superstar. So right now, I'm not calling him a superstar.
I think Jaylen Brown's a superstar, man. The way he was able to carry the Boston Celtics, because I'm just be real. They did not expect anything from the Boston Celtics this year. They were expecting them to tank this year.
Which is why I'm not calling Jaylen Brown a superstar. I mean, it's almost like he came out of nowhere and did his thing, missing Jason Tatum all that time. That's why I'm not calling him a superstar. He's an all-star. He's a really good player. I'll give him top 15, top 20 conversation, but I'm not calling him a superstar. There aren't that many superstars in the league.
Shout out to Brandon from the block. He said the same thing. He said he's top 15, but I got to put him in top 15.
But SGA is a superstar. Jokic is a superstar. Luka's a superstar. I think the superstar. I think the superstar boundary is Jason Tatum, Anthony Edwards. That's it, and there aren't that many.
Okay, I will secede.
How can you put Jason Tatum in that conversation, but you can't put Jaylen Brown?
Jason Tatum's a better player than Jaylen Brown. I said the bar is there. I'm not necessarily saying superstar, but I'm saying the bar is like Anthony Edwards, maybe Jason. I'm saying maybe Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum's a better player than Jaylen Brown.
Even defensively?
I think they're on the same level. I think they're kind of on the same level defensively. I think Jason Tatum's a better offensive player.
Okay.
I will secede that you could call Jaylen Brown not a superstar. Sort of. I mean, because okay, all right. If you look at it from a certain level of like you'd have Curry, LeBron, Jokic, Luka, Giannis,
SGA.
Fuck that dude.
You don't like him, but he's a superstar.
You don't like he don't like the free throw merch.
He don't like the way the Thunder playing all that stuff. You might not like him, but SGA's a superstar. I mean, he fits the mold right now.
I mean, the thing is, when I consider it a super team, that means you got at least 2-3 all NBA type of guys on here, and you do have three, and you have three all NBA caliber guys. Tyrese Maxey, he was all NBA. Jaylen Brown, all NBA. LeBron, all NBA. So you have 3 all NBA, and then when healthy,
technically you got 4 if Embiid can stay healthy.
If he could, they don't even need him to be healthy. They need him to be. Look, if they sit his ass down for half the season and say, "Look, right before the playoffs, get your ass back up here."
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's what they need him.
They don't need him to be NBA MVP Joel Embiid, but they're gonna need his butt on the floor if they get to the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I would say. I say, look, we gonna load, and I won't give a damn what the NBA said. If I'm the owner, I let them find me every game. We gonna load manage your ass throughout this damn season, and when we get to the playoffs, we gonna unleash you.
Yeah, because
I would not care what to look. If the NBA fined me $2 million because of that, because that's about the most they can find me. Guess what? I pay that $2 million up front and say we finna load manage your ass until we get the playoffs, and then we gonna unleash you.
I'll say this though, I think you got to get at least. You got to get at least 55 to 60 out of Joel, though. You got to get at least 55
Oh,
to
I
60
don't
games. Joel
disagree
Embiid.
I'd say 50
Yeah.
games.
You got to get.
If
I
you
say.
can
I say
get-
50. I say 55. You got to get at least 55 out on him.
in the regular, I think you got to get.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah, I may
Just to have
I may,
team chemistry,
I
I'll
may
say 50
see-
games.
If
I may
if
concede 50, but that 55 range, yeah. If you're talking like this team has top 3 seed ceiling potential, yeah.
if I'm Philly, I do you lessen Embiid's minutes. You don't have to play him, 36 minutes a game, 37, 38 minutes a game. Like you can play him 30. That's what I would do. I would, then he can play every game because you want to develop that chemistry with all these guys on the floor. But I can see that maybe Jaylen Brown isn't a superstar, but
all-star, yes, absolutely. But
I still think this is a super team. Like I mean, you have 4 like champions.
Yeah, from the all-star perspective, yeah, it is. I'm not jumping
from an all NBA perspective, like I stated, you got to remember, Hedgecombe, he made all NBA team. He made the all NBA rookie team.
Yeah.
He was all NBA rookie. Tyrese Maxey, all NBA. Jaylen Brown, all NBA.
Okay. In terms of a super team, I don't care about all rookie. You just good player that's gonna come off the bench. I don't care about all rookie. I'm looking at your all stars.
But even if it's still a super team,
even if he comes off the bench,
get back to the original point.
Even if he comes off the bench, he's gonna make a difference. I mean, look at Byron Scott when he came off the bench his first couple of years in Los Angeles. If you got a good bench player, a good 6 man, then guess what? You're gonna.
I know, but what I'm saying is that but those starting lineups in LA was set right. Them starting lineups was loaded to where they're like in that super team tier, and then you can start talking about whoever's coming off the bench or whatnot. So yeah, like Maxey, Brown, yeah, okay. So yeah, I jumped the gun a little bit on that. I still stand on business. Jaylen Brown's not a superstar. He's an all-star. I stand on business on that. He's an all-star, but he ain't no superstar.
And then KCP, he was an integral part of bringing 2 championships to not only my Los Angeles Lakers, but also the Denver Nuggets. So
I've always bro, come on, man. That's Georgia Bulldog. You know we're gonna support KCP now.
So KCP, he played an integral role that get your
Oh no.
Oh man. Tell D I said hello.
Boy.
I don't know.
No, we talk about that ugly ass outfit that Andrew Tate had on. That was ugly. That game. Like he about to go salsa dance. So anyway, we had check out the big show this past Friday. We're on the official showdown.
There was a clip on the Sports PSP podcast. Let's just say we didn't pull no punches.
We did not pull any punches.
Andrew
on that
show. Andrew Tate in that purple outfit looked like the love child of Zorro and Barney.
So basically, look at Flash. But I really think that KCP, he's going to be an integral part of this team. Look, it's championship or bust at this moment in time for the Philadelphia 76ers. Championship or bust. So
with this team, yes.
But this is a super team.
Yeah.
And this is a super team. And look, if you really, really look back, shit, there's been a lot of super teams. We just ain't been calling them that. Calling them that. When you got at least 3 all-NBA players on your team and they're top 5 in each of their perspective, or at least top 10 in their perspective category, that's a super team.
To go back to the original point, when you keep stacking, like you keep trying to stack things the way that he has, LeBron, meaning LeBron, when you just keep doing this and you've been in the league for 34 decades now at this point, and you just keep trying to do this, and you've failed most of the time, mind you, a lot. I just, if he goes and wins more, part of the legacy is not just the winning. Part of the legacy is how you went about winning and who you won it with and everything else that ties to your legacy. And so when this happened, like,
I mean,
I
to interject, I'm not the biggest proponent of moving teams. I mean, Tim Duncan stayed on the same team. A lot of the forefathers of the NBA stayed on the same team. But I would take this route too. What is the difference between what LeBron is doing and what the average general and what Jerry West did throughout his years with the Showtime Lakers and with the Shaq and Kobe Lakers when he was trying to get them a championship?
But I get doing it. Okay.
The only thing difference is the general manager had the power, and then now the player has the power. When you look at Jerry West and what he was able to do with the Showtime Lakers, those were 3 iterations of the Showtime Lakers. You had Kareem, Bob McAdoo, you had James Worthy, you had Norm Nixon, then you had Magic Johnson. Then you had 2.0 when they brought in AC Green, when they brought in Byron Scott, when they brought in a lot of those other players once Kurt Rambis and a lot of those guys were leaving and Jamal Wilkes was leaving. So you had a constant rotation of players, of Hall of Fame players, going in and out of that lineup in the form of the Showtime Lakers. The only difference is the general manager was making those trades for doing that. And right now, as far as LeBron, he's just said, I'm going to become the general manager and just go to whatever team I can win with.
Yeah,
that's the only difference.
And he's failed at it most of the time. It'd be different if he did this once, maybe twice. But this is supposedly the greatest guy, the greatest player. Well, supposedly the great. And he's changed teams how many times now?
This is the 4th team.
I mean, and you can say 5 because he's with Cleveland twice. This is. Again, he's done this 5 times now, and he's failed most of the time. So I just, if he goes and wins another one, it's not going to change my opinion.
Well, it won't. I know it won't change yours.
And to me, it shouldn't move the needle on the debate anyway. I mean, to me, there's no debate at anyways.
It moves it for me a little bit. I think we're kind of poo-pooing on the idea of the era that we're in and how it's almost impossible to stay somewhere on one team an entire career. To stay on a team an entire career is almost impossible. You have your rarity.
Because a lot of these players.
Can I take over? You got to look. You have hold on. Like you got Duncan, you got Kobe, you got Steph, you got Dirk. That's it.
There's a difference between moving once and being like a $2 whore on the when the Navy ship pulls in. Like there's a difference.
Deion Sanders did shit.
And I didn't like it when Deion did it either.
But the thing is, he shifted the balance of power in the NFL.
What?
He shifted the balance of power in the NFL.
But for one, that's the NFL. You know what I'm saying? The NFL ain't necessarily got guaranteed contract like that. They ain't got to promise you nothing. So I'm not mad at him when it comes to the NFL and getting the money like that.
But I will say this: when you look at, I don't blame him for moving. I don't, because look at how he goes
in, makes a bunch of demands, destroys the roster, and then cries about it, and then leaves.
The thing is, look at how they wasted his career the first time around in Cleveland.
Again, the first time.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. And look at what they did with Giannis and most of his damn career. And everybody didn't have a Jerry Krause. Everybody didn't have a Bob Myers. Everybody didn't have it.
We all said on this show that part of what happened in Milwaukee, nobody wants to say it, is Giannis's fault.
Yeah.
Who wanted Doc Rivers there in the first place? And who got rid of
Griffin? Coach
yeah. Griffin. And Budenholzer. I don't know if the Budenholzer thing was the Giannis thing, but to tell me he had no influence on that, I highly doubt that. So that's the thing that nobody wants to talk about. And again, I'm fine with the once, maybe even twice. Like him going back to Cleveland, I think is a great story. Like I think that's a phenomenal story. But and in fact, I think it's one of the better like sports stories in general. You go back to your hometown after leaving, like, and again, like, I don't mind Giannis leaving once. Like, that's fine. I think it's stupid he went to Miami because, I mean, he's not going to win anything in Miami. He had a better chance waiting it out in Milwaukee. He would have done more for his legacy staying in Milwaukee.
I mean, his legacy is already cemented when you win one without a top 75 player.
It is.
You win one with a bunch of outside of Chris Middleton and a lot of other defensive players. It was really just Giannis and Chris Middleton. And Chris Middleton was a good player, but he wasn't a ultra mega star.
But Chris Middleton, I will give him this, was the perfect complement offensively to what Giannis did as far as being wings, because Giannis is the guy that could take the occasional jump shot, but I mean, he was the inside, most dominant force we've seen on the inside since Shaquille O'Neal. And then Chris Middleton was like that borderline sniper that you needed on the perimeter that could shoot you back into a game when he got hot. So that was a great compliment as far as like talent.
But like, for instance, like you look at the guys that have won a ring besides maybe like maybe Brunson and Jokic. Like, has anybody won it with less talent, like top level talent, I should say, than Giannis? I mean, Middleton was at best a top 20 player, like at his peak, and it was a really short peak.
It wasn't like he wasn't an Oscar Robertson like Kareem had Oscar Robertson. He wasn't one of those guys.
He wasn't even Tatum and having Jaylen Brown. Like, I mean,
yeah.
Let's be, and I like Middleton as a player. I always thought when he was at his peak, he was extremely underrated, but I don't, but he was never, I just think, I know everybody in Milwaukee for the most part, like there's not a lot of hate towards Giannis when it comes to him leaving. Everybody's kind of like, dude, hey bro, you brought us a title and one of the coolest, performances in a closeout game of all time, like, and not even cool, like one of the best, like it's up there with a Jordan closeout game, and he's top 3 power forward all time for the most, I mean, give or take.
Already, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so I mean, he's top 3. You could argue him top, he's 2. He's never going to overtake Duncan because Duncan is, arguably in top 5 all time, arguably, not, So he's not there, but he's number 2. You could make a really strong argument he's number 2 already. But I think overall legacy wise, if he stays in Milwaukee, I think he's got a better chance at winning because I think he just waited out in Milwaukee than going to Miami, unless Miami's got something else up their sleeve to add to that roster. That roster, in my opinion, is way worse than. Now, it'd be kind of funny. I don't know if he's signed an extension with them yet, but it'd be really. I would laugh. Again, I know it's a conspiracy theory, and I brought this up, but he hasn't signed an extension yet, and it would be funny if he realizes that
came to the Lakers.
No, you can't. You can't disrupt that team.
Mm-hmm. If he came to the Lakers,
not going to the Lakers. If he went anywhere, he would just go back to Milwaukee.
Come to Death Row.
He ain't going to the Lakers. Fucking ain't.
I said time and time again, the only reason why Giannis isn't a Hawk is because we wouldn't get rid of Jalen Johnson.
That was our only fucking superstar. What did they expect?
I'm just saying, Atlanta made the most sense for Giannis when you look at the team structure, but they weren't finna get rid of Jalen Johnson.
Well,
all that spacing, all those guys that could shoot the 3 and play defense along with him, but they weren't gonna get rid of Jalen Johnson. I completely understand why.
Yeah, we wanted Jalen Johnson in order to play with Giannis, not lose a superstar.
But at the same time, you're looking at giving up Onyeka Okongwu, and Onyeka Okongwu isn't enough value for Giannis. He just isn't.
Give him 3 first. You should have gave him 4. Give him like 4, 5 first round picks. Hell.
See, that's where I wouldn't have done it. That's where I probably wouldn't have done it. Yeah. Oh yeah, Onyeka Okongwu plus all the first rounders. Yeah, no, let Miami do that. Let Miami have that.
All right, Flash, just a question for you, man. We just ad-libbing at this point.
That's fair.
Do you think 2 would move the needle for you in the GOAT conversation? Because now he's matched him 6. Like if the Sixers go back to back, would 6 championships to Mike's 6, would that move the needle for you?
And here's the reason why Mike's legacy is, it's not even just, again, it's not just the winning. It's not this deep. He's a better overall defensive player, in my opinion, a better scorer. Like, he stayed with one team his whole career, 2 3-peats. Arguably, he's a top 3 defensive player of all time. Here's the other part of it too. When you listen to other players talk about him, past, present, and his peers, when again, LeBron wears his number. Well, I said LeBron. Michael Jordan ain't wearing LeBron's pajamas. Like it's you can't overtake somebody and their legacy when they are compared to Jesus. You just can't. I'm sorry. And that's part of the legacy and the argument. Is it quantifiable within stats? No, it's not. But you listen to those players when they did the top 75 of all time, and everybody walks in, and this is including guys like Kareem and Magic and Bird and LeBron and all of them. And as soon as Michael walked in, it was
yeah, especially when he told Magic, "Go put your shoes on."
Yeah, I look and look. It's like, for instance, I'll compare this argument when these fools these days talk about how Taylor Swift or Beyonce is even close on what Michael Jackson's level was when it came to fame. It's not. You are nowhere near it. What Michael Jackson was to entertainment, like, there will never be anybody as famous as Michael Jackson. Ever. Like, ever. There will never be anybody that famous ever again. And like Jordan, part of the legacy is not only, again, I'll bring it up. The whole reason there's a sneaker culture is because of Michael Jordan. His shoes still outsell everybody's shoes combined. Like, to
your point,
he is
there's
him.
a guy. There's a reason why Biggie Smalls, God rest his soul, said, "Long nights I perform like Mike." Anyone, Tyson, Jordan, Jackson, but it's the aura of Jordan. It's kind of hard to overtake him. It's kind of hard to overtake him.
You can't.
But at the same time, if you really look at the record books, LeBron is to the NBA right about now what Wayne Gretzky is to the NHL. It's kind of hard to not look at him. It's kind of, I'm talking about the record books. It's kind of hard to not look at it and ignore it.
I think the Gretzky thing is kind of the similar to the Jordan thing. I think Gretzky's, because it's just he's got that same thing. Like, Gretzky's the Jesus of hockey.
Basically.
You can't overtake Jesus. I'm sorry.
Not even Alex Ovechkin, after he broke his record, everybody still say Wayne Gretzky to go.
Yeah, but Alex Ovechkin and Sidney Crosby is like as close as you're gonna get.
Yeah. And LeBron,
they're as close as you're gonna get. And LeBron for me is as close as you're gonna get.
No, not so fast. Not so fast.
LeBron is as close.
Mario Lemieux.
Well,
you can't.
I think Ovechkin and Crosby in terms.
Mario out of there, bro.
Yeah, but I think Ovechkin and Crosby. I think
if Mario doesn't get sick,
if he don't get sick, but but you kind of have you kind of have to use that. You don't want to, but you kind of have to.
You have to. I want to talk about both of you. LeBron is as close as you're going to get.
Yes,
I will completely. I think that's a great way to put it. I think he is as close as you're going to get. Like, he's right there touching the sun. He just ain't going to get there because, yet again, the way nobody talks about LeBron the way that everybody talks about Michael. Nobody.
Even the late great Kobe was in awe. I mean, it was amazing.
Bro,
I mean,
Kobe is basically a copy and paste of Mike when you look at game style and how they
he
play.
was the only one that wasn't afraid of Mike either.
Yeah, he was only. Yeah, I give him that. Kobe was
Hmm.
never scared of Mike, but Kobe's basically a copy and paste of Mike when you look at the fadeaway, when you look at the movement, when you look at just everything.
Defense,
Kobe's game
attitude,
was defense, attitude. I like Kobe's offense and Mike's offense is so similar because they're just masters of the mid range and just being able to find the spot, give it to him, bam, that's automatic too. I mean, it's just
I again, and I know that, like, I think there are just certain players that again, I think Gretzky's one of them. I think Brady is one of them, and Jordan. I think it's those three that just have, like, you're never gonna pass those guys. Like, you just aren't. I don't know. Like, I don't. The only guy, like Mahomes, I think Mahomes will be the same thing that LeBron is to Jordan. I think he'll get the closest.
What about Montana?
I love Montana. I wasn't willing to even put Brady over Montana until he won that number 5 and the way he won it.
I think it's Brady and Montana still.
You know how I feel, and y'all don't agree with it, but I stand on business when it comes to my top 2 quarterbacks ever.
I know you love Peyton Manning.
Yes, I do.
I and that's fine. And I don't disagree. He's top 5, but
go away.
But you're right. What I'm saying is, Champ, is that by the time Mahomes may be done, he'll get the closest. Possibly. He has the potential to be what LeBron is to Jordan. Right now,
but
to me, it's Brady.
But my thing with Mahomes, I think Mahomes can get way closer to Brady than LeBron is to Jordan now.
Ooh.
I think Mahomes could get even closer to Brady than what Brian.
Yeah, because I think Patrick Mahomes could still get 2 more.
But
3 more.
But here's the thing we have to think about is he's already got 3. My thing is he gets 5, but then it's the awards and everything he stacks with it, and then he starts breaking all those QB passing records. So that's why I say then it's just like we're splitting. We're almost going to be splitting. We're almost going to be splitting hairs at this point. If he don't catch him in rings, but he just breaking every record, and then he's got he matches Peyton in MVPs and gets all the pro and all the accolades and stuff like that.
Yeah, who's the
maybe?
NFL?
Who's the NFL Steph?
Drew Brees.
The NFL Steph.
Drew Brees.
No. No.
He was rewriting the record.
No. I have a good one. I have a good one. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
it's Aaron Rodgers. You have to look at the way the quarterback. You have to look at the way the quarterback position has changed and evolved after Aaron Rodgers. The way the 3-point shot has evolved since Steph. It's like a parallel.
But I don't think. I don't even think. I think.
I think it was Breeze because he set a new standard. The thing is, 4,000 yards, that was the standard. But when you combine the completion percentages and how accurate that Drew Brees was, not to mention how he was able. Look, nobody was happier than me when I was waiting. I've been waiting on you, Lee.
Another team of scrubs about to ruin.
Yep. That's it.
Yeah, I feel sorry for back to VJ, but I really think it's Drew Brees because he set a new standard for going for over 5,000 yards passing every single year, and for winning without a great defense.
I hear you, but I think it's Aaron because Steph's influence is felt as far as how the game is played today, and I look at Aaron Rodgers and his style of quarterback and how he plays it. That's how I look at it.
To be honest with you, to me, Aaron Rodgers was a hybrid version of Dan Marino.
Well, but
even Dan Marino wishes he had Aaron Rodgers' arm talent.
They both had a damn good crick release. That's the reason why I call him the modern day Dan Marino. The only difference between him and Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers could actually move his ass out of that pocket. Dan Marino was kind of a statue.
As good a thrower of the football as Dan Marino was, there are throws that Aaron Rodgers has made over his career, and Dan Marino looks at that and just like, damn.
The one thing, when I look at, I like the Aaron Rodgers comparison to Curry because I look at Curry's skill level when he is the best shooter of all time. There is no discussion. There is no discussion about that.
For me, Aaron Rodgers is the best thrower of the football ever.
The best arm talent of all time. And I don't think it's close. I really don't. I hate him as a person. I think he's an asshole. But when it comes to his arm talent, nobody can throw the ball like him. No. If you go back and watch him prime, like 2010 to
2010. Oh, you got to bring up 2010. It hurts me, but yes, 2010 to about 20. I'll say 2010 to 2016.
Yeah, 2016. Like you go like prime peak Aaron Rodgers. There has been no court. I don't give a fuck if it's Mahomes, Josh Allen that can make the throws with these arm strength, talent, and release that he had. There is nobody.
The angles he threw some of those passes with, just
especially on the run.
Especially on the run.
If you are going to build the perfect quarterback, it's in his prime and his ability to get out of the pocket and run too. To me, it's not even like Marino. To me, he's an upgrade of what Steve Young was.
I like.
Oh, didn't think about that.
I like that.
That's a better comparison to me. If you add, because everybody thinks I think he's one of the most underrated quarterbacks of all time. Because I think his prime was very short, but he was at the time he's one of the most accurate and best passers in the league, even though he was known as a runner. For a while until I think Rodgers broke it, he set the standard for passer rating in the NFL for a season. Mm-hmm. So. I don't. If you're going to build a better, the only thing, and I maintain this when the argument was like, who's better, Brady or Rodgers all time? That's never a discussion. But the thing that I always said that held Rodgers back was he didn't have enough of a good soldier in him. He was too much of an arrogant ass. Brady had enough of a I'm going to fall in line good soldier in him. And I think that's what ultimately held Rodgers back. That's the one thing. He had the competitiveness of Brady and Jordan and those guys, that ultra stupid, psychotic competitiveness. It was too much where he couldn't, maybe it just was, he never had the coach that could do it. But when Phil Jackson came in and reined in Michael Jordan, and made him trust everybody, himself and his teammates like that. Rodgers never either he was too arrogant to do it, or he never got the coach that could reach him. One of the two. I don't know which one. I'd be pure speculating and making up bullshit out of my ass. But I think I'm to a certain extent I still am, but I think that's what cost him being I think if he has that, I think he's in the GOAT conversation between him, Montana, and he's still in that. I think the top 5 of all time quarterbacks is way trickier of a conversation than it ever has been.
It is
way trickier now because you got Brady, obviously, Manning, Mahomes, Montana, Unitas, Elway, Rodgers.
I think Marino is Marino's obviously the only one that didn't win the championship. That if you want to just sneak him in there as a dark horse in the conversation, it's
you do. He's the one exception to the rule.
He's the one exception to the rule when it comes to that.
Everybody's agreed on
one exception. He won. I know the Marx brothers were great, but he didn't have a Hall of Fame receiver on that team. He didn't have a Hall of Fame running back. Hell, I doubt even. The offensive line was pretty good. But the Killer Bee, y'all remember the Killer Bees defense, they were losing their luster at a certain point when he was in the prime of his career. And yeah, he never did have a top defense. He never had a top running back. And after the Marx Brothers left, it got even fucking worse. So yeah, it was. They really, if you really want to talk about a franchise failing somebody, the Miami Dolphins, they definitely failed Dan Marino, and they've been paying for it every damn since.
The Miami Dolphins should pray to their lucky stars who played with them their whole career and they never asked for a trade. Because if Dan Marino had to ask for a trade and he went somewhere to a competitive squad, and the first time he saw the Miami Dolphins, I literally would have crossed for him because he would have destroyed him.
The Minnesota Vikings tried to trade for him before they got Dan Marino, before they got Warren Moon. The original trade, rumor had it, was for Dan Marino. Because remember that year, remember that year, Don Shula had retired.
Okay.
So he wasn't really sure about what was going to happen until they hired Jimmy Johnson. But that was the rumor. But so before they traded for Warren Moon,
there was a couple times he was almost traded.
Before they traded for Warren Moon, before they traded for Warren Moon, they was going to trade for Dan Marino.
Could you? Whoa! Could you have? Whoa, God! I have like a fantasy team in my head right now.
So then Robert
98 with Marino. Ooh.
Yeah, so it would have been Marino. Well, in 95, Marino, Chris Carter, Robert Smith, Jake Reed.
Bro, 98, you would have had Chris Carter, Jake Reed, Randy Moss,
Robert Smith.
Marino throwing to Randy Moss.
I will say this. Here's the thing. There is no other player in sports that one ring changes everything about a discussion if he wins one.
Yep.
There is no other player in any sport that by winning one championship, it changes the entire discussion about not only him, but the position as a whole all time.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
They had plenty of chances in order to get running backs. Remember, a lot of the running backs that won championships for team and was the cornerstones of franchises, they all went in the late rounds. So you think about Terrell Davis, he went in the late rounds. When you think about Bo Jackson, he went into the late rounds. When you think about Herschel Walker, went into the late rounds. A lot of great running backs that end up was the cornerstones for teams, they end up going in late rounds. So again, I believe that they were so in awe about his arm at one point that they just said, all right, we got a guy who's going to get us out of every fucking jam that we got. Let's just feed him, do the best we can on offense and the hell with everything else, because they never built up a good defense.
Could you imagine?
So they didn't even trade. They didn't even try to trade for Eric Dickerson. And look, I remember this. Emmitt Smith was having contract issues with Dallas.
He almost went to Miami, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Who did he call? He called Don Shula.
Yep.
He asked, can you give me $18 million? And he said, man, I just can't give you that right about now, man. He said, I can't give you what Jerry can. He said, because even Emmitt Smith said, can you imagine me and Dan Marino?
Oh, that would have been like the ultimate play action combination.
He got on the phone and reached out to Don Shula because he wanted to go, because he had got tired of Jerry's ass after doing those contract negotiations. So he called Don Shula and asked, look, can you bring me home? I want to come home. And Don Shula and the owner, they said, man, I just can't give you that amount of money that you're looking for right about now. And he said he even lowered it down to like $10 million. And they was like, I still can't give you that much. So
I'd have gave. Oh, boy, I understand what I understand where they were coming from, but for Emmitt Smith, I'd have gave him 10. Yeah, I would have gave Emmitt 10.
Yeah, because if you look at the contract that he signed in 1993, in 1992, it was a 4-year, $13.6 million contract. He either gave them the option to go down to 10, 11 million. So they was like, man, I just can't give you that amount of money.
I'm sorry, Miami. You fumbled that one. You fumbled that one. bro, you gotta give Emmett 10.
Yeah, he would have
11
took
million at least.
he would have took Olympic. But he's
Yeah,
like, I just can't compete with what Jared's giving you right now.
Miami. Yeah, Miami fumbled that one.
I believe it was more of a collusion situation. Looking back on it, I believe it was a collusion situation because it's like, I can't shift the balance of power in the NFL by giving you the damn future all-time leading rusher along with the best quarterback in the league. Because, like I said, play action, you can't key in on Dan Marino now. He has a way in order to milk that clock at the end of the game. So, and then they didn't make the trade for Eric Dickerson. They had a chance to make the trade for Eric Dickerson. And
not just that, people sleep on how good of a receiver Emmitt Smith was out of the backfield too. So that's an extra target coming out the backfield.
Yes, indeed. So he actually asked Don Shula, "Hey man, bring me home, man. I spent enough time in Dallas. Bring me on home." Don Shula wouldn't pull the trigger. That's an interesting thing. Speaking of Philly, do y'all know who they had the chance? Do y'all know who they was about to trade Dr. J for later in his career, right after winning the championship for? Dr. J had 2 first-round picks.
For who?
They was about to trade those two got Dr. J and 2 first-round picks for Michael Jordan. They were trying.
What year was this?
They was when he was coming out. They was trying to
draft.
They was trying to get Barkley and Jordan. So they were trying to get Barkley, Jordan, and Moses Malone. So
that's why I love talking. I love what ifs. What ifs are like one of my favorite things to talk about in sports because just imagine certain players with other players and just the change in trajectory that would have caused had they gotten together. I love talking about what ifs.
Charles Barkley, Moses Malone, and Michael Jordan. And those are just, and that ain't even including World B. Free. Remember World B. Free was on that team.
One Mo Cheeks on those teams too.
Yeah, Mo Cheeks was on that team.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
That would have. We would have had. It would have been the Sixers versus the Lakers instead of Boston versus the Lakers. But Larry Bird. Right before in 1989, they was trying to. They didn't want to re-sign him for some reason, but they got the deal done.
Yeah. I think Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan said, we got room for him here." So
I think he would have had some playoff series wins against Larry Bird had he went to Philly and not necessarily Chicago with those teams he had.
Yeah, so that would have been. There was a lot of what if scenarios. I mean, hey, there's Larry Fitzgerald was supposed to be at the Philadelphia Eagles at one point. They're trying to get.
I have I get to be a homer real quick. There's a what if I just found about our Braves, champ.
Barry Bonds, yeah.
No. 2021 when we won the World Series. You know how we got Eddie Rosario and Jorge Soler and Jock Peterson at the deadline?
Yeah.
You want to know who they tried to trade for first before they ended up going the Jorge Soler route?
Yeah. Who they tried to get?
Kyle Schwarber.
What the fuck? How did they not get him?
I think it was the I think the return. I think it was partly because of NL East and Washington just didn't want to give them to someone in the NL East. I think that's what it was. I think it was they tried to trade for Kyle Schwarber, and I think they tried somebody else too, but I can't remember. But they won the World Series because they ended up with Jock and Eddie Rosario and Jorge Soler, and we know what they all did in the postseason. So, but it's kind of a moot point. But yeah, I think
the biggest what if is if we would have got Barry Bonds. Well, what would we have got? But what would he have demanded? What would the Pirates have demanded?
No, I think the trade was Bonds. We would have had to give up. We would have had to have given up Alejandro Pena, who was a closer at the time. And it was somebody else, but Alejandro Pena would have been the big return on the Pirate side had they had Jim Leland let it. Jim Leland was the one that said no, we're not going to do that. But it would have been Barry Bonds for Alejandro Pena and something else. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What if scenarios?
I love talking about.
What if we win that World Series with Deion Sanders?
Which year? 90. Oh, you said the one with Deion?
Yeah, the one with Deion.
I still think he plays football. I think he plays football still if they win the World
That's
Series. I think
what
he
I'm
still
about to
plays.
ask. Do he still do he
He plays
go play
football.
baseball?
Nah. If they win the World Series, Deion still plays football. He still plays football.
Okay.
He still plays because I mean he was a good baseball player, but I mean he's the greatest corner of all time. He still plays football.
Yeah. Not never forget that commercial with him and Jerry Jones.
The offense and defense.
Offense and defense, both. All right, what'll it be, Dion? Stuffed crust or meat lovers pizza? Both. So what'll it be, Dion? 15, 20 million? Both.
Both.
So
that's a great commercial.
Yeah. Man, look, man, back then, you had to have that. Look, I'm gonna just say this. People can get on to me about this being an old man. Back then, you had to really have aura in order to get some shit as far as the endorsement was concerned. They just, in the great words of Emilio Estevez on the movie Billy the Kid, you can't get any geek off the street. Got to be handled with the steeliest meal with already even earned your keep. You had to earn your keep back then. If you wasn't a mega star, you wouldn't get shit. So
no, and I think that's the most difficult part, that chasing guys' legacies from prior to is going to be the hardest thing, because now you have so much more advantages than you did back then. Like now everybody's on social media and they all have their own thing. Everybody's trying to be their own.
Mitch, man. We should have invited Mitch because he's a diehard Philly fan. We should have invited Mitch. Mitch, if you can hear us, man, look, can y'all beat New York in a 7-game series?
I think they can.
I said on Friday's show, I think they are, as currently constructed, I think they are the worst matchup for the New York Knicks if they see them in the playoffs.
Okay. I got another question to ask y'all. Is this more of the 83 76ers or this is more like the 2004 Lakers? A super team built up to kind of let you down.
No, but I don't want to call it the 04 Lakers because the 04 Lakers was older talent. And this is really like, and this is like a lot of younger talent. Even with Joel Embiid, he's not exactly like long in the tooth. He's injured, but he's not like long in the tooth when it comes to his age. So I mean, like, I wouldn't call this the 04 Lakers because I mean the 04 Lakers, you still had a prime Shaq and you had a prime Kobe, but you had a back end Gary Payton and a back end Karl Malone. I mean, it was still productive, but I mean, let's be real. So,
that's a good question.
So I guess I would say the 83. I would say the 83 Sixers just because there's still some youthfulness there.
Yeah, I go with that. Yeah. I got a question. You guys are WNBA fanatics.
Yeah.
I was watching them highlights of that All-Star game. To me, I feel like you have to earn the right to be lazy as fuck in an All-Star game. Like,
it's funny you should say that. Kelsey Plum in an interview during the game.
What?
She was said to say, Kelsey Plum said the same thing. She said, look, next year when I come back, we're going to ante this shit up and we're going to start being competitive.
That was ridiculous. Like, I mean, that even made the NBA All-Star game look pathetic or like better and more competitive. Like, at least sometimes they try at the end of the game. Like, that was like, I feel bad for fans that paid money to go see that. Like, that's awful. Like, again, you have not earned the right to be that lazy and that shitty to your fans. We don't even like it when the NBA players or any other All-Star game or Pro Bowl game does it. That was atrocious. And
that was
all be ashamed of themselves.
That was bad.
The silver lining in the biggest event, though, biggest All-Star attendance in history.
And that's great. And they should have showed out for the people that all showed up.
Yeah.
From
Caitlin
Clark, the coaches to Angel Reese, everybody. All of them. To Asia Wilson, all of them. Shame on you. Shame on you for the way you treated your fans, that was horseshit.
I think the All-Star game on all levels is getting more competitive because people can disagree with me, but I love to know your. I think the NHL set the tone for All-Star games.
Yeah,
when they came out with the Four Nations, because ever since then, everybody has been trying. It's just like even the NBA, they was very competitive this year because of Wemby. Wemby came out there and said, "I'm trying to win," and they came out there and they
more
beat the hell out of each
competitive
other.
than they have been.
Yeah, so
I wouldn't say. Again.
I personally think it was Major League Baseball, but
them too. I mean, it's competitive. I mean, the thing is, when you go out and watch an All-Star game, you're trying to see the best ballpark game or best pickup game you could possibly find. That's what you're going to do. You're trying to see, all right, I'm playing with LeBron, and I'm one of the best point guards in the league. I'm trying to see how much I can dish to him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's what the fans wanted to see. That's what we got to see back in the day. You got to see the best pickup game in history. It's just like, hey, yeah. But at the same time, back then, those guys played pickup games with each other all the time. They played pickup games with each other in the offseason. Like Magic Johnson and Nigel Thomas, the reason why they were so close and why their relationship took a hit is because they used to spend off seasons with each other. And I never forget when Magic brought up the fact that Mark Aguirre damn near got to fight with Magic because, you know, they said, and that's a foul, man. And then Mark Aguirre got back and said, motherfucker. He was like, hey. And Isaiah had to break up a fight, but that was their thing. We're going to go to training camp. We're going to go lift weights. But at the same time, we're going to play pickup games against each other. That when we play each other in the regular season, we're going to beat the hell out of each other. That's what you want to see. I think the funniest part with Angel Wilson and Angel, you know, that was because, you know, like they held their hands up. That was the funniest shit in the world. I was like, you can't tell me that part was damn scripted.
The funniest clip I saw from the entire All-Star weekend was after the game when they were talking to Olivia Miles, and then Angel Wilson was sitting beside her talking to her. And then Olivia Miles told her that she was born in 2003. And the face Angel Wilson made realizing how young she is was just like the funniest thing. She was just like,
yeah. I'm just disappointed. That just.
We already covered that. So that was a subject for later on, but you already gave us that. I think, look, the highlight of the WNBA for me was the build up to it. I know the All-Star game kind of under-delivered, but the build-up to it is always great. You had the stud buds, them partying, and, you know, rumors about folks getting kicked out of parties, and, you know, them giving AC Fudd a chain, them pouring water all over AC Fudd. Look, as far as all that water
drama shit.
Like, look, I'm hoping that the WNBA disabled them damn comments after they showed that picture of AC Fudd with all that water poured on her. I hope that y'all disabled them damn comments after the fact. Because just look at the picture. You'll see what I'm saying.
Oh, God.
I'm just.
It was the build-up, man. It was the build-up. Like I said, I hope they disabled them damn comments because the way she was looking like, my hair. And I'm like, yeah, so
by the way, did y'all see is it the same thing that you talk about? What the outfits that Angel Reese and them are wearing? Like,
well, no, not only that. They, you know, like I said, it's a lot of build up. It's different. Yes. You know, dudes, we don't do that 75-hour stream shit on the NBA. But it's the build up. I like the build up to it.
That's fine. I'm cool with the build up. Like, that's the fun part. But then you got to deliver, though. Like, you have to, you know, you got to. You know, at the end of the day, it's about basketball.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be competitive next year, but I do think it will be the year after next because it goes back to being the Olympians versus the All-Stars.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that first year when Caitlin Clark came in, she came in at a perfect time because that first year, it was the Olympians versus the All-Star, and the All-Stars beat the shit out of the Olympians. Lit a fire up on their ass because I remember Weekend Gumbawale, she scored a bunch of points that game. She won the All-Star MVP.
And we know what happened in them Olympics after that, boy, because the United States, they were pissed off.
They were pissed. Like I said, I brought this up last week when Asia Wilson and Brittany Griner and Diana Taurasi, they was pointing at the kids. I think it was from France or somebody. They was like, "You can't win without Caitlin Clark." And they looked at each other. We finna beat your ass without Caitlin Clark. Because but the thing was, imagine if she was there, you'd got your ass beat even worse.
You'd have got you would boy. They would have been. Well,
they'd have ran you off the floor. So,
boy, they would have to forfeit the game in the fourth quarter without the game.
Yeah. They enacted the mercy rule. Which, Flash, I've been meaning to ask you that. Do they have the mercy rule in up there where you guys are?
In what?
In Little League, they don't have a mercy rule up there.
Depends on the sport.
Okay, because I know down here, if you fall in the Little League, you fall down by 4 touchdowns. They enact the mercy rule.
Baseball, yes. Baseball, yes. I don't know about like hockey. No, they don't. It's fucked.
They don't.
They don't give a fuck. No, you get your ass whipped. You get your ass whipped.
Well, the thing is, I used to not never forget. I told one of my little cousins that he said I told him, I said, yeah, I remember we got beat 45-0 in the game, and he looked at me. He's like, they didn't have a mercy rule back then. I said, hell no. And the coach wasn't taking you out if you was a starter.
Hell no.
He was not taking you out. One no, we finna put in the subs to get this playing. I know we fell behind because of you. You gonna stay your ass in there.
You
gonna take this ass whooping, and you're gonna like it. No, at least when I watching my daughter play, they've never. No, they've never cut a game where it was. Now maybe it'll change. She goes up to a different level this year. But in my experience, they never have. And there's been some. She's been on the end of at like the mite level, like the mini mite level. I don't think they really care. It's not really about keeping score for the most part. But like her level last year, that's when it starts to get a little competitive. And then next year is when it starts to get, really competitive. Like it's about winning. And she was on the end of the teams that were shelling out some butt whoopings, and it never, not to my knowledge. I mean, maybe they have. I don't know, but I'm trying to think if there was ever one that was like, 17-0. Well, there was a game that was, I think, 13-0 in a tournament, and they played the whole time. That's the thing too, though. Like it may go a little quicker, but there's never really a mercy rule. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong, but I've never seen one. Youth football, I don't know. Those are good questions. I'd have to look, but I'm assuming again, so it depends on the sport.
Yeah. We've already asked how will this affect LeBron's legacy. Basically, we covered every damn basis at this moment in time. We really did by sheer luck of the draw. You ran through all of these. You already gave. On the humbug, you gave your thoughts. What are your thoughts about All-Star Weekend, BRL?
Yeah, like I was definitely disappointed with the game. I love the 3-point contest. Shout out AZ Fudd for winning. I definitely like the skills competition part of it. Like, hey, I got to point this out too. For anyone in my video where I brought up Elena Delle Donne as far as being one of those ones at her peak, the skills competition showed you why she was one of them ones at her peak.
Hell yeah, she still got it. I'm like, damn. I'm saying. The dream needs to sign you to a 10-day contract.
I think if she wanted to come out of retirement and play right now, she could. Like straight up. That woman is still really, really good. If she wanted to come back and play, she would right now. I think for me it was the skill competition that were really like the highlight of everything. Because Dominique Malonga's dunk, I definitely like that moment. That was a good moment in the game. But I mean, outside of that, I mean Yeah, like Kelsey Plum talking about the idea of putting some money up. They even called Caitlin Clark like in an interview at some point. I think it was like after the first half. It was after the game or whatnot, and she was talking about like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like we gotta get these people a show. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We're the all-stars, we're the best players in the league. We gotta give them a little bit of a show. We might not be necessarily we don't have to go 100%, but you know,
no,
let's do a little something. Let's give them a show.
No,
let's give them a real show. You know?
You need to go 100%. I'm sorry. Again, you haven't earned like the ultimate that you are just now starting to be a extremely relevant league in this country. The arrogance to sit there and just not even put 10% effort into a game where people paid a lot of money to attend is just arrogant. It's just arrogant, and it's gross. Again, this isn't just for the WNBA. This is all the leagues in general when they do this shit. Like I'm not trying to just pick on them, but at the same time, man, that's just disappointing. Like you had a chance to really, again, this is a missed opportunity for the league itself. It's like when the NHL did the Four Nations thing, if they just would have like mailed it in.
Yeah.
They just would have mailed it in like, this doesn't really matter. We're just gonna
I'm not gonna lie, the Four Nations, bro. I talked so much shit after they booed that damn national anthem, and we went out there and we kicked their ass.
Yeah.
I talk so much shit because regardless of what's going on in the country, you're not finna boo the fucking national anthem and me not talk about it. And especially after we whooped your ass. We went out there and it was a fight. The first time somebody got it was a fight. Oh, you want to move the national anthem? Oh, we finna whoop your ass. Then we finna whoop your ass.
Yeah.
I love every minute of the Four Nations, bro.
Yeah.
Because Canada moved the national anthem. They said, oh, okay, we got something for that.
And that's kind of the point that I'm making. Like, you know, you had this massive opportunity to do something great for your league, and I constantly hear, well, we're not treated with respect, and they're not. Well, then act like you deserve the respect that you want. You know, and that's just I don't know. That's just very disappointing. I just don't. It's why guys like Jordan and Kobe have you always heard, even Jordan when he was with the Wizards, and there's a story, I forgot who it was. Is it Brendan Hayward?
Collins.
What?
Doug Collins.
Doug Collins, and I think Brendan, whoever was with the Wizards at the time, he was he's older, he's getting his knee drained every night, and one of the young guys was like, you don't have to do this, and he was like, somebody worked a 12-hour shift to get some overtime to come see me play. I am not gonna not play because
they had to drain his knee because you said it was the size of a softball.
Yeah. So that's respect for the fans that pay your salary. That's just respect. It is. It's just to go out there. That's what fan. And again, this is any sport. What fans demand in general is effort. I'm going to pay money to see the best of the best do things that us common folk aren't able to do. And all I do is win or lose, I just expect effort.
Yeah. You got a point, man. And look, man, this is just not Flash being the old man, get off my yard. I totally agree with him. Especially when you give the fans something that they're not accustomed to seeing. When they turn on a WNBA or NBA All-Star game and it's competitive, they know they're going to come back next year, and you're going to be able to up the ticket prices. And that's not only going to help that's going to help your next collective bargaining agreement, and you can ask for $10 million this time.
Yeah.
So, speaking of $10 million, I think they're going to go outside the salary cap for Caitlin. I really think they are. I think she's going to get the Jordan treatment in the W. I believe that they might give her like $6 million.
Probably
6 to 8 million.
I mean, she moves the most merch. She did, again, whether you like it or not, she's the face of the league. She is what she is. So, and I want to point out too, whether she said it enough after the game or whatever. It's not like she if you're the face of the league, you need to set the tone in that game. And she didn't. So it's much her fault as anybody else's. Like, you're the face of the league. It's like when Kobe, slapped the floor with LeBron, and LeBron just, backed off, like he didn't want to go. And that KG's right when they talk about setting the tone. It's just disappointing. It just, you sit there and it just shows a lack of respect and arrogance to your fans and everybody that pays the kind of, and it's not even to pay the money. I mean, that's part of it though. Like my 8-year-old daughter though, you know what I tell her to do? Like, do I care if she wins or loses? Of course I do. Like, would I rather see her win? Absolutely. The only thing I'll ever get mad about though is if you go out and you just half-ass it. That's
I think that's an old school parent thing, because my dad used to always tell me that all the time. I catch you half-assing on any level, I will snatch you out of that game myself.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's about effort. The thing that I get, and sometimes I got to remember she's only 8 years old, but that's a lesson that you teach immediately is effort. And I just think it's a huge slap in the face to, everybody. That's just me. That's just how I don't like that. That really bugs me. Again, every time they scream about, we need to be treated with respect. Well, then again, act like it. So that's my big thing. Other than that, again, I think that, let's go. Let's see a basketball. Again, I want to see Atlanta versus Indiana in the finals. Go and have it go to 7 games.
Got a question for you real quick before we end it all. Who is the most hated commissioner in the damn world right about now? Kathy Engelberg or Roger Goodell?
I think Adam Silver is.
Huh?
I was saying, if you're gonna give me a choice between those, it's probably Kathy Engelberg.
Probably Kathy, because they booed her ass out that building not once but twice. They booed her ass out that building.
Yeah, I guess it's probably.
I have never seen a commissioner more hated than when only other time I see the commissioner that
Roger Goodell.
It was with Roger Goodell when they had the damn lockout, because they booed that bastard every time.
I don't know. Hey, I don't know. Rob Manfred's close. Folks can't stand Rob Manfred.
Yeah, but you remember like when all the domestic violence stuff was going on with Roger Goodell and everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It was bad. Like it was
nasty.
But at least with Roger Goodell, even at their most controversial times, he's not afraid to get in front of the camera, to get in front of the microphones, to answer those questions. He's never been afraid to do that. Kathy Engelberg, you can't do that, ma'am. You can't front run for the CBA, getting the new money and all of those stuff. You can't front run all that, and then when you get to the controversial topics, you're too scared to answer questions. You can't do that. You got to be at the forefront of everything. You're the commissioner. You're the head honcho. You gotta be the one to lead and take charge and answer all the tough questions and show that you're in front of this and you got the best interests of your players at heart. And she has not done that one iota.
I think the most critical part of All-Star Weekend that nobody's really talking about, and I will make a video about this tomorrow, is the fact that Asia Wilson said the only relationship that I have with Kathy Engelberg is when she hands me my awards. She hands me my awards. I'm like, yeah, her ass getting packed up.
She's gone.
Her ass getting packed up.
2026 is her last season. She is gone.
Yeah, I think whenever that contract run out, that's when that will be the very last day you work for the W.
Yeah, and then the news report came out from the anonymous source that 2026 might be her last year anyway. So I wouldn't be shocked at all.
But the end of her career was when Dan Patrick went off on her.
Yeah,
that was the end of it. That was what when you were like that, and I got to go golfing instead. That was the end of her career. That was it. That was one of the most, talk about disrespect, like, and just not having
Dan Patrick has always been one of the most fair journalists we have in sports, and he would have treated you respect. He would have came at you with the hard questions, but he would have showed you the respect still. And just, I've always had respect for Dan Patrick. Dan Patrick is not the ones you just
you don't. And the thing is, it's what he said. It's just like, hey, I understand if you don't want to come on my show. Roger Goodell doesn't want to come on my show. But at the same time, you ain't Roger Goodell.
Exactly.
You're not Roger Goodell. So I mean,
yeah, you're not. Yeah, again, you're not you're not the commissioner of the
the king of America.
Yeah, you need to. Yeah,
you got to kowtow a couple of times.
You need and
they need a
David. Roger Goodell didn't go on like Dan Patrick. He went up there at every draft and took that whooping.
Took them boos like a G.
Yeah, like a man. Like
took him like a man.
All right, he ducked some shit too. But at the same time, he. I
mean, you can duck some smoke when you took all the fire.
Yeah.
I mean, you can duck some smoke sometimes when you're taking all the fire, but
you need to earn that level of it. And when you're still like, when 90% of America doesn't even know who the hell you are, like, you need to calm down with that arrogance right there.
And not only that, when the players are calling you by your first name, I still think about that, man. I don't know whether it's a WNBA thing because they call. I mean, because the more I watch the W, now because I'm paying attention. Me and BRF covered the W, but it's like I'm staring at every detail now, so I can point it out. I'm staring at every detail versus just covering basketball. But I think it's just a WNBA thing that they call the coaches and authority by their first name. It's just like, damn. It's just like, because it's like, there's no.
Yeah, they never called like David Stern David. They called him Mr.
I ain't never heard because Asia Wilson, you know how much she's respect Becky Hammond. I was talking to Becky last night. And I'm like, damn, y'all just call each other. Y'all on a first name basis now. But I think it's a guy thing. I don't know. maybe it's a guy thing.
Maybe you're right. Maybe that's a good point.
Maybe it's a guy thing, and we call our bosses a Mister or whatever, versus,
like I call. I mean, I kind of do it with everybody to a certain extent, but like I call a lot of people, like depending on the situation, like sir. Like
sir. Yeah, you say sir, and then if they say no, don't do that, then that's another thing. And us being from down south, dude, that's a requirement. Otherwise, otherwise your parents punch you in the mouth. So, so it's just like sometimes I had to be checked at work about it. I was like, hey, Mr. Jason. He was like, no, it's not Mr. Jason, Stefan. It's Jason. Oh, okay, my bad. So, I mean, you the damn CEO. I walk past your office every day to fix your shit. So, what do you want me to say?
I mean, don't get me wrong. It depends on the situation. Like some of the higher ups, like I'll call them by their first name too. But like
not on a regular basis. It's like
no. It depends on where I. Yeah. I don't know. It just is.
Yeah. But that is the dream matchup right about now. The Atlanta Dream versus the Indiana Fever. Hold on. Let me go check stats real quick. Because I think the first game happens this coming Wednesday. No, it's Tuesday. And the first game coming back on the WNBA, you have the Washington Mystics versus the Connecticut Sun. You have the Tempo versus the Lynx, and you have the Fever versus the Seattle Storm. And you have the Las Vegas Aces versus the Portland Fire and the New York Liberty. Basically a bunch of fucking tune-up games on the first day. Bunch of fucking tune-up games. And then the very next night, the Dream versus the Wings.
Ooh,
so that's going to be a good
marquee match out the gate.
Yeah, then the Dream. Like I said, that first night, just a couple of fucking tune-up matches just to get you back in the flow of what you're doing. Then it's the Valkyrie versus the Mercury, who's still very, very dangerous. Then the very next night, then on Thursday, that's a big game. Thursday is one of the bigger games. That's the New York Liberty versus the Aces. Then you have, I'm looking for the next big thing. The biggest game in the next couple of weeks is next Sunday, August the 1st. Caitlin Clark versus Olivia Miles.
Oh, yeah. Indiana, Minnesota.
Indiana, Minnesota. That is the biggest game of the year right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. That's the biggest early game so far, the second half of the year. Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
It's time to make a video about that the minute I get off his phone. I think this is one of the most anticipated games. Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell versus the big three in Indiana versus Olivia Miles, Courtney Williams, and Nafisa Correa. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen in that game.
Yeah.
I got a quick question for both of y'all. One more. If Caitlin Clark wins the championship this year, will all the critics just shut the fuck up?
I mean, there's nothing left to say at this point. There's nothing else to say. There's nothing else to say.
I mean, no, it depends on the criticism, but yes, I mean,
it's like no, because what it is like, I think it's like she's the face of the league, but she's not the best player in the league, and I also think it's just her level of play leading up to that point. Like if she's just wrecking everything and just putting up ridiculous stat lines, and then she leads them to a championship, you can make a case she may take the mantle away from A'ja. She would be the clear face of the league, because then you could almost kind of make a case like if she's playing the best ball in the league, is playing the best in the league as far as player wise.
You have no choice but to call it an
Yeah, she would be the unquestioned face of the league, especially if she's playing the best ball.
So, and I really believe that a championship for either her or Angel, that shuts everybody up completely. That means
about that particular player, yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I mean, Angel's never going to be the best player in the league. She's not.
No. But at the same time,
but I think the criticism on whether or not she's a
winner.
You can't question she's a winner. You can't question that. She's won every level she's been on, so you can't question that.
I don't think it's that.
Does her style of play help you win here?
It has thus far.
I think it's like if she wins a championship, then it's kind of like I think it shuts people up as far as like people not thinking like she's a good NBA player, but you know how some fans are. They'll find a way to nitpick. They'll find a way to tear something. So
and here's her chance to redeem herself next Monday.
Yeah,
you got to play the Aces.
I think it solidifies her as if Angel was to win a championship. I think if Angel wins a championship, I think what it does, it solidifies that interview when she was a rookie, where she was like, y'all are coming. Yeah, we know y'all are coming to see Caitlin Clark, but that ain't the only reason y'all are coming to see me too. I think if she wins a championship, that it validates her, because then she's one of the true faces of the league too. And especially if she's like,
she got her own damn Barbie. So
that's what I'm saying.
The thing is I don't think I can say what I want about her game or whatever, but she's absolutely one of the faces of the league already, just as much as like Sophie Cunningham is. Sophie Cunningham maybe not be one of the best players in the league, but Sophie Cunningham is one of the
one of the
faces of the league. Whether you
I forgot. Do you know she sold out of her signature shoe?
Yeah.
I got my ass creamed on the internet for bringing that up. I got my ass creamed on the internet, bro. No, because you know why, damn it. Don't be acting like you don't know what's going on. Shit. You know why. Hell. But like I tell everybody,
because
I got to be fair. I have to be fair. If I'm going to give credit to Angel Reese and A'ja Wilson and everybody else for selling out their shoes.
Why everybody's mad because fucking Sophie Cunningham say that men can't play with girls? Is that everybody's also upset about that shit? I'm sorry, but
yeah, I mean it's political. It's political reason. And they bring up the fact that how the hell you get a signature shoe? You only average 8 points. I've said the Jeremy Lin effect, motherfucker. Like that's how you get it.
Yeah, it's not even just that. Like because my response was like, well, when was the last time you sold a shoe? again, you can everybody can cry about like she only averages this
Bro,
game or
I
that
got my
game.
ass, bro. People sliding by the how the hell you gonna bring that? I'm like, bro, she sold out of the damn shoe. What do you want me to do? Not bring it up? That's weird.
I'm sorry that you hurt your fifis and just stated the obvious that boys shouldn't play with girls. Like, I'm sorry, but like it.
So that was just it was crazy, bro. I got people was sliding in my DMs, man. I got so much, bro. I got some heat, bro. I ain't get that X-Pac type of heat, but I ain't get that X-Pac type of heat, but I got some heat.
It's just so silly. Like
It is, but the thing is, people ripped me for that. Like, bro, I'm like, that was crazy. I'm like, she sold out of her signature shoe. And the more the more these women now sell out their shoes, the more the next generation they can have.
But that was my point last week. We were talking about it. And I was like, whether you like it or not, like she does better marketing for the league as a whole than most of the league as a whole. Like she brings so many eyeballs to the league. And,
I got so much hate, man. It was crazy. It was weird. Like it wasn't on the comments. It was people just sliding. I expected you to do more, man. You're not supposed to do that. I thought you were like, bro.
But what was it more because people were mad about what she said about?
Well, I mean,
no, I think it's more the stat lines and
it's more the stat line and her being back of Barbie. Yeah. And how everybody's gonna bring a lot of situations.
Everybody can't put their politics or ties aside.
You see her boyfriend, right?
Who?
It's Sophie Cunningham.
No.
She dates a black dude.
You might want to.
She dates a black dude.
You might.
I'm shocked by that. That doesn't make me go, oh boy.
She dates a black dude.
Yeah, she dating Lex Steele. So I mean, hey.
No, I don't think she's really dating him. But
she's not dating Lex Steele, but you get what I'm saying.
Yes, she is in a interracial relationship.
But I'm like, don't get mad at her because whatever the hell. But I think one of the highlights of All-Star Weekend is when Barack told Caitlyn, "Hey, I see you. Don't let them bring you down."
Yeah,
things like that. I really commend Barack for that, man, because when he's saying it, then you can't deny it. When he's saying it, you can't deny it. You can deny it all you want.
You can feel what you want about Obama. I don't really give a shit, but like that's a cool moment. Like, and he's right.
He said, remember when I was famous, I was 40. You're 20. You're still navigating everything. Yeah. So don't give in to the hate. Don't. He said part of a lot of wisdom on there. So, when he's saying it, it has validity to a lot of things.
Well, and that's the thing too. It's like people, and this is where I get annoyed by society right now. Is the fact that like we're not allowed to like grow and change and learn and make mistakes, and then again, you can feel what you want about Obama. I voted for him, like and
really,
yeah.
Damn, I didn't know that.
I'm not, dude.
No, Flash has said he's not. I mean,
I had to fuck with you, Flash.
He said it before. He's like, he's a Republican. He's like, because he's talked about it before. Like, yeah, he might lean that way, but he's one of those like. He may lean that way on some things, but he may lean the other way on some things.
Flash, you got to explain nothing to me. I was just messing with you.
He ain't got to explain that.
I don't, and it's why I get in trouble with both sides because they get mad because I'm not loyal to a team. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about you. I don't know your team. I ain't loyal to you. I ain't loyal to the team either. So I do what I feel is best for the country in the moment. That's it. That's it. Yeah. That's what I feel, and I have my principles. So that's it.
And that's why we love Flash. That's why we love Flash.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, Flash dances to the beat of his own drum. Man, look.
It's a big drum and it's a loud beat, but he dances to it.
Yeah, he dances to it. Look, I want to say, man, one thing y'all need to do is y'all got to check out Odyssey, man. Odyssey was one hell of a movie.
I heard
it was long and dog shit.
That's
But,
nuts Nolan movie. That's expected.
you know,
I'm about to
I
say,
don't
yeah, it's
know.
Chris Nolan. It's gonna be a long movie.
That's a long and dog shit. I'm just gonna be real. I don't know what the fuck happened between the last generation of movies and then this generation. I remember you used to go to the movies back when we was kids. It was about if a movie was 2 hours, that shit was long. Nowadays, that's the norm.
Dude,
So,
2.5 is average.
dude, 2.5 is average now. The movie 2 hours long. Damn, we gonna be in here a while. If it's not one of those movies you can just go see real quick and then get the fuck out the theater. So, hey man,
By
we
the
gonna
way, speaking of movies, so I haven't really been like hyped up about Marvel for a while. Like after basically Spider-Man No Way Home,
Doomsday has me.
I've been kind of like I was full. I was satisfied. Like after a good meal, you're full. You're not over. You're just I'm satisfied.
Doomsday got me hyped, bro.
Like, dude,
Doomsday got me hyped, bro.
Kind of hyped for fucking Doomsday.
Doomsday got me hyped, bro.
I'm kind of feeling it.
Doomsday got me hyped. And
Yeah.
I think one of the biggest Easter eggs that they revealed, I talked about it with Champ earlier. Ryan Reynolds was dressed up in the gray Deadpool suit.
So I even look at this.
I think Tobey Maguire, I think, is about to go. And I mean like go.
I think so. You know the trailer when Thor sees Cap and like he goes, "This is impossible," and Cap brings the hammer to him. I don't think that's Cap. I think that's
that's Hydra. That's Hydra Cap.
I think it's
that's
Loki.
Hydra Cap.
I think it's Loki.
You think it's Loki?
Yeah.
I think it's Hydra Cap.
Loki. So there's a scene in the trailer where Loki is obviously in Cap's home. I think it's Loki because I don't think Thor would be that shocked by seeing Cap. I think he'd be that shocked by seeing Loki.
I got
a question for both of y'all.
I personally think it's Captain Hydra.
I think it is too. That was my question I was about to ask.
I think it's Loki.
How do you feel about BRF? How do you feel about the new Black Panther son? The guy they got to play.
They can, and the thing is, people talking about, well, Black Panther 2 was only like 6-some years ago. I'm like, bro, they can make this work. I mean, you have to look at the variants and like different parts of the universe and all this stuff. They can make this work. They can speed time up a few years with Black Panther 3. David Johnson is a really good actor. He and for those of y'all who don't know, I think his real claim to fame recently was The Long Walk. He's a really good actor. So, and I know a lot of people really wanted Damson Idris, Snowfall. But I think it's a good choice. And the resemblance is so freaking insane with Chadwick. So I mean, it's like
my mother wanted Lance Gross to play the son.
That
wouldn't have worked. I don't think so. Mom wanted Lance Gross.
No, I don't think he. No, I think it would have been Lance Gross. Nah, I mean, I could. Nah, it would have been either Damson Idris or David Johnson. I think those are the two that really made the most sense. But honestly, when you look at David Johnson, it's like, you know what? I liked if they were going to recast. I think they got the right one because Damson Idris is already proven, like he's done a lot of movies. I think they wanted to put somebody in still a little unproven, still with something to show. I think it was a good recast. I think I like the recast. I'm looking forward to that in 2028 now.
I'm going to sound like a sexist pig, but whatever. Nobody was going to go to Black Panther 3 with Shuri as blank. You got to put a guy in the role. I disagree.
In the comic book, they did that.
I disagree.
For a short
I know they
time.
did, but I'm talking. Look. All right, I'm going to lay out the reasons why. Okay. I think the predominant viewership of comic book movies and comic books are men and boys. Okay. I'm not saying that there can't be female superheroes. My favorite TV show of all time is fucking Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which is one of the most feministy TV shows ever. Okay. I just think for that specific situation and that specific character,
You need the king.
You have to go. Yeah, you have to go back to what made it. Yeah.
You just have to have a man, and I think tying it to T'Challa and Chadwick Boseman. Again, it just is what it is. I'm sorry. It just is. It is. You know.
Got to ask you two one more thing. Ryan Gosling playing Ghost Rider.
Yeah, wanted to do that for years as bad as Ryan Reynolds wanted to play Deadpool. So
I think he can do Ghost Rider justice. I do. I think he can do Ghost Rider justice.
I love the fact
because I ain't gonna lie. Because I'll admit, as far as from an actor perspective, I've always had respect for Ryan Gosling because he has good range. I've always had respect for him. So I think he can definitely do it. Like I said, what got me the most excited Comic-Con was the Great Deadpool. That's what got me the most excited.
Because he killed.
Yeah, that's the only thing I hate about it is I think he's gonna kill Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man in like the first 10-15 minutes of the movie. Yeah, because
I want to. I
want to see the Secret Wars. I want to see the Secret Wars with the Venom costume, with the actual Spider-Man Venom, the alien costume, because you can't have the Secret Wars without the alien costume. Because that's supposed to be build up to the Secret Wars with the Beyonder, and Spider-Man has to be in the Secret Wars. He's one of the leaders in the Secret Wars.
Well, yeah, but I think comic book accurate though is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man that gets killed though. I think like comic book accurate is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man.
I don't want Toby's.
I know, but if they're gonna,
I don't want it.
I know you don't want it, but it's comic accurate. So I know you don't want it, but it's comic book accurate. So his Spider-Man is probably about to go in this. But what I love keeping track of Marvel and rumors and all this other stuff. The biggest rumor that I want to look to see if they're really gonna do it is which Dark what is it, Dark Rune or whatever, Thor. Dark Rune Thor, whatever it is.
Rune King Thor.
Rune King Thor. Yeah, that's another one that I'm hearing is like that they might touch. I'm like, bro, I'm getting excited.
In those Thor series, they got to bring back one person. They got to bring one person in, bro. In those Thor series, you can't talk about Thor without talking about Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah, they haven't. They hinted at him in Ragnarok.
Yeah, you should have brought in Beta Ray Bill when it was at Ragnarok. It should have been the Hulk. It should have been Beta Ray Bill.
I think.
I think they're canceling Blade though. They're pissing me off. They're canceling Blade.
He's gonna be in, but he is gonna be in like Midnight Suns or something.
There's only one Blade.
What?
There's only one Blade. Well, there was two Blades, but I don't count Fredro Starr.
No, Sticky Fingers. No, Sticky Fingers, not Fredro Starr. Sticky Fingers. That was Sticky Fingers.
Okay, so
Sticky Fingers.
Okay.
The Spike TV Blade TV. Yeah, that was Sticky Fingers.
Yeah, Sticky Fingers.
Right rap group, wrong one. Right rap group, wrong one.
I don't think Toby dies right away. I think the first to go is the Fox X-Men universe. I think they go. I think the from let's say our generation. So that would be the Fox X-Men, meaning the first generation Fox X-Men. So like, but I don't. But I think that to survive from that generation.
They're bringing Rebecca Romijn back as Mystique. So
I think they all die though, except for I think Toby, and I think Toby survives, and Hugh Jackman survives until the end of the movie. The two biggest deaths that could affect that'll be the biggest impact are those two characters, are Toby and Toby's Spider-Man and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine.
Yeah.
I think they don't die right away. I think they die. I think they make some kind of sacrifice. That's my guess. I don't know how. I just think, man, can you imagine they kill off both those characters in the same film?
I'm thinking, yeah, that's earth shattering. You get rid of those. That's earth shattering.
You know what I'll never forget, bro? I would never forget when I went to the first I went to the screening of the first Avengers Infinity Wars. I'll never forget when I went there. And the only thing we already knew what was gonna happen because the Infinity Wars, people don't understand as we end the show last 10 minutes, people don't understand the impact that the Infinity Wars had on our generation. I think that people only think about the MCU when you think about the Infinity Wars. When you think about the Infinity Wars in our generation, it not only had a comic book, it influenced a generation of video games that still cannot be matched. The first video game like Marvel superheroes was, you see Street Fighter with the combos and see the super combos coming out and you got to get the energy. That was the Infinity Wars. It came out, the Infinity Wars was so big back when we were kids, it had its own game before its time. It had a version on PlayStation and Sega Saturn, and a version on Super Nintendo. The version on Super Nintendo was an adventure game. And it was scroll and beat 'em up, I would say. And then the one on Saturn and PlayStation, that's how old we are. That was a fight game. But people don't understand how big the Infinity War was back then. So I knew what was going to happen as a grown man going into that. I'm like, these kids are good. Because when I walked into that, it was me and the Wolf Pack, my friends who are here. And the only thing you see was kids carrying dolls, kids carrying, all type of their action figures, their favorite superhero that was in Infinity Wars or stuff like that. I said, we looked at each other like, these kids finna start damn crying. And I never forget that first 10 minutes, the Hulk is beating the shit out of Thanos. The only thing you hear the kids is say, get him, get him, get him. And we looking at each other, yeah, he finna be disappointed. It was like, only thing you heard was when Thanos hit him in the throat, only thing you heard was, oh, I was like, yeah. And I'll never forget, everything started, when the snap happened, everybody started disappearing. Only thing I remember is this. Only thing I remember this dude said, oh, that's bullshit. I was like, bro, I can tell y'all didn't read the comments.
Yeah. Well, see, I don't remember Infinity War as much as I remember the Jean Grey turning into the Phoenix story.
Yeah.
As a kid, I remember that one being the two that I remember were the death of Superman and then the Jean Grey Dark Phoenix story.
Yeah, I remember the death of Superman. That rocked everybody.
Yeah.
You remember when you had to call in on the hotline in order to weigh in on the death of Robin?
Yeah.
You had to call in on the hotline.
Yeah.
And it was so much. It was by surprise. Everybody wanted them dead. I'm like, damn, y'all wanted Robin dead that bad?
Yeah, dude, they hated not Dick Grayson.
Jason Todd.
Jason Todd. Yeah, hated Jason Todd. Hated him. That's why it's funny, how everybody talks about how fans of genres like that are so toxic. Now, dude, they've always been toxic.
They've been toxic. They've been.
Yeah. Michael Keaton, you brought it up last year or last week about how Michael Keaton almost got ran out of town because he was
because they didn't want him to play Batman because he was a comedic actor back then.
Yeah,
they did not want him to play Michael Keaton.
Yeah, it's funny that
it's toxic. It's just on the internet now. It's just the only difference between back then and now is everything's 24/7. It's
people have always been shitty.
Yeah, it's toxic. It's just nowadays it's just on 24/7.
It's just out there all the time.
Robin
back then you had to wait until 9:00 in order to see all the bad shit. Now you can see it in real time.
The Robin Williams Batman story to me is just still so crazy. The fact that they used him as bait on the Joker side to get Jack Nicholson. And then when Batman Forever comes around, they want him to play the Riddler and he never called him back. So they went to Jim Carrey. I'm like, good God, bro.
Yeah.
I don't think no actor in the 90s had a run quite like Jim Carrey. You had Ace Ventura, you had The Mask.
You had both Ace Venturas. You had The Mask. You had Dumb and Dumber. You had the Cable Guy. You had the Truman
Batman
Show.
Forever.
Yeah, Batman. You had Batman Forever.
I'm gonna look
Good
up
Lord.
this.
Me, Myself, and Irene.
Yeah. He had a run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm trying to
Yeah.
see.
I think that year of Ace Ventura and The Mask that came out, they called it the year of Jim Carrey.
Yeah, because it was what, 93?
93, 94. Yeah,
93,
I think it
94?
was. Yeah, I think they called it the year of Jim Carrey. So that was good.
Yeah, because you couldn't put out two better movies
Then The Mask.
back
and
to
Ace
back like that.
Ventura.
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, and then The Mask. You can't do two better movies in that back to back.
I love Ace Ventura. Pet Detective.
Those are probably my two favorite Jim Carrey movies ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you can't do two better movies in that back to back. You just can't do it.
Yeah. Let me see. All right. Here's. So 90. Let's start in. We'll say, all right, 94. Just 94. It's Ace Ventura, The Mask, and Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, that's right. Dumb and Dumber was 94 too.
95 with Batman Forever and Ace Ventura When Nature Calls, which in my opinion, Ace Ventura When Nature Calls is funnier than the first one. Like I will
It
myself laughing.
It is.
That
It
one.
is.
It's so fucked up.
is.
It's funny. 96
It is
is
funny.
Cable Guy. I never really liked Cable Guy.
I like the Cable Guy
Yeah,
Cable Guy.
because I just like the darker role. I
It was a
like
little
Cable
darker,
Guy.
yeah.
I liked it.
I'll have to go back and watch. I haven't watched that in years. 97 was Liar, Liar. Then 98 was The Truman Show and Simon Birch. With Simon
I
Birch,
forgot about Liar, Liar.
And then 99, you had Man on the Moon when he did Andy Kaufman.
Andy
which was a
Kaufman.
fantastic film. And then you go into the 2000s, it's Me, Myself, and Irene and How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And everybody loves his Grinch.
Yes.
2001 is The Majestic. Then he does Bruce Almighty, Pecan Pie. I don't remember that one. That was a short film. Never mind. And then he did Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, which is a fantastic film. I highly recommend it. If you got a girl, watch it with her. Series of Unfortunate Events the same year, and then he started to slow down. That's when he's and it's Fun with Dick and Jane and number 23. He came back with Yes Man. Yes Man was all right. I Love You, Philip Morris. He was in that. And then he was in Kick-Ass 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't forget about.
I recommend. If you love corny superhero movies that just come out of nowhere, I recommend the Kick-Ass movies. I recommend.
Oh yeah,
I recommend them.
and he's brilliant in that too.
He's great in that.
Like that, he took that role, which that's one of his. Like he says, he's like, I'm out of knowing what the movie was. I'm like, dude, how did you not know? Like I always thought he was kind of bullshitting with that.
Yeah, I remember when the first Kick-Ass came out. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna like this, and sure enough, I watched it.
Yeah,
I loved
it's
every second of
fantastic.
it. I love it.
If you and all you youngins out there, you want to go see really good, like off the wall Jim Carrey, go back and watch In Living Color Jim Carrey.
Please do.
Please go watch.
He was impersonating Bobby Brown. He was impersonating Vanilla Ice.
He did that. Yeah, he did. He like what was that song? Snow Imposter that came out. He did that.
I will say,
Fire Marshal Bill.
If you get offended easily, I would not go watch In Living.
Let me tell you something. Do y'all realize that? Y'all realize Fire Marshal Bill made a cameo appearance at the end of The Cable Guy?
Yeah. Oh, do you remember the what was the workout?
Oh man!
Yeah.
Nobody gets my breast to get away
Helga or
with
something
it.
like that. Wasn't it Helga or something like that?
Helga. Nobody
Helga.
grabs my
Yeah,
breast
Helga.
to get away with it. Nobody grabs my breast.
You do some. You even do this like flop. Oh my god, it's so funny. Let me look.
Look, we gotta
Veer up.
man. But
Veer up.
yeah, we gotta get up out of here, man. But that was man. Hell of a show, guys. Hell of a show, bro. I like
Yeah.
it. I like it. I like it. Any last words?
Go watch In Living Color. Just be prepared for Handyman. You're gonna laugh, but if you're from this newer generation, you might get offended. But please go watch. It's so funny.
And watch
Y'all
Wanda.
try not to laugh, but you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and Wanda, the making sure Wanda.
Oh my god!
Go expand your horizon. That's what I'm gonna end the show.
Don't
with.
touch grass, man. Don't be offended by every
Go
little thing, man.
watch Living Color and laugh your ass off.
If you want to watch the beginning evolution of the comedy skit show, the ultimate influence of like the comedy skit shows is In Living Color. Like a lot of the comedy skit shows you see today, like a lot of them is like
go watch Living Color and Old School
yes.
Mad TV.
Yes.
And Old School Mad TV, go watch those two. And if you like offensive comedy and funny skit,
you will laugh your ass off.
Handyman.
I love it. I love it. On that note, see you later. Bye.